Previously, in part 1 of this episode, I looked at the night sky, I went on a long walk, I found interesting pieces of copper nugget lying on the ground, and then I dug down trying to find a vein. However, I had not found it yet when the first part of this episode concluded. Will I find it now? Let's find out. I'm gonna just mine out here, and I'm remembering how I used to mine before when I played TerraFirmaCraft back in the day, but I don't know if it's changed at all. I think that as long as I'm just in 1x2 tunnels here, the risk of cave-ins is minimal. And it's not really possible to prop this up. So let me take a few samples. There's nothing. Oh, very large sample here. Nothing. Just a large sample, so it's probably in this direction, and that makes sense. Because if you remember where the nuggets I found on the ground were, they were kind of, one of them was right here, but the other ones were kind of off in this direction. So I'm going to keep mining here. So the prospecting pick doesn't tell you how far you are, really. Well, it sort of does, but there's some randomness involved in it. If you saw, there was the stones right on either side of the one I was clicking on that said large sample, said nothing at all. So there's a chance of not finding anything. So, yeah. There's a little bit of skill involved in... and a little bit of guesswork involved in doing this, and I'm going to okay, so there's a very large sample, another very large sample, another very large sample. That's large samples. So right here is where the very large samples start. So I'm going to go ahead and break that and put cobble there, just so that's noticeably different. And I guess I might as well stick a torch on it too. That would be really nice if I could just mine straight into this. That would be nice. It's probably not going to happen though. Okay, so I'm still seeing very large, so I'm going to keep going. Basically, the strategy here that I'm using is I'm going to keep going in this direction until I start seeing large samples again. Very large means I'm close. Large means that I'm a bit farther away. So if I find the most extreme points and just kind of pace off between them, I can find the midpoint, which should be where the vein is. So I can just kind of do that once in this direction, and then once I find the midpoint on this axis, find the midpoint on the other axis, and that should put me either directly above or below the vein. So then I can just dig straight up or straight down, and I should hit it. Large sample, okay. Large, nothing, large, nothing, nothing, very large. Okay, so go ahead and mark that. So these two torches here on the ground, those are the extreme points. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 14 meters. From one to the other. So I just go 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should be right here somewhere in this plane. So I'm just going to take off in a different direction. Ooh. Well, I did get a cave in. So apparently that is a thing I'm going to have to worry about. Oh, don't lag. Okay. I'm wondering, I'm trying to remember if supports actually work in too high areas. I don't think they do. I think I just have to deal with the cave-ins when they happen. Still, this with the cave-in though, this area is now a bit more open, which makes it more prone, I think, to more cave-ins. And I really don't want to get trapped down here. Okay, still seeing very large here. Very large sample. I did bring wood with me, and I brought the saw, so I can make supports. And I know once I reach the actual vein, I'll need to make supports. I think I'm not going to make supports, though, for now. Okay, still very large sample here. Well, we are here walking towards those samples of garnerite I saw earlier, so I just found a large sample of that. That might make it a bit more difficult to find the extreme point of the okay, medium sample of copper. Okay, very large sample of native copper here. Let's go ahead and put that on the wall. So I think that's the most extreme point there. Yeah, at least the most extreme one I can find. So let's go the other way. And hope the wall doesn't fall in. Or the ceiling doesn't fall in, I guess. Very large. Large. Sweet. So that's an extreme point too. So I'm going to paste it off again, find the midpoint. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right here should be either directly above or below the vein. Plus or minus a little bit in each direction, because those might not be the exact endpoints. Those were just the last points I could find. Large samples. So let's go down. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and make supports, since I have this here. You do not make supports with sticks. So the way you make supports, saw and then 2 logs on top of each other. That makes support beams. So if I mine into the wall here, trying to remember how to do this. That doesn't actually hold up the ceiling. Not like that. You need to have a cross beam to do that. The cross beam needs to be... How do you do this? How do you do this? Trying to remember. Am I forgetting something here? I don't think so. It's like, is there a separate crafting recipe for these horizontal supports? No, it looks like there's just the one. Then that goes all the way to the ground. I don't think that's right. There we go. That worked. Okay, so that should hold up the ceiling here. Now I just need to go down and hopefully hit the vein. And going down on a ladder while shifting. I hope it's not above me. Actually, it would probably be more convenient if it was above me, but, you know. That's not the way I'm checking first. Basalt. Oh. Yes. Okay, that makes more sense. Remember I said earlier that you can't get copper in gabbro. This is apparently a thin layer of gabbro, and under it we have basalt. And basalt is one of the stones you can find native copper in. So I'm pretty convinced it's below me now. Yeah, you can find native copper in andesite, basalt, dacite, and rhyolite. And if you're impressed that I've memorized these, don't be. I've actually got a web page open in another window that I can read. So, yeah. I wish I could just remember all of this stuff. I actually did remember the basalt, but I didn't remember what the others were called. So this is actually awesome having this here, because basalt is really cool. It's a very dark stone. Way back in the day, when I was playing TerraFirmaCraft before, I had a house that was built in a chalk. It was built on chalk, and there was a basalt just right across the ocean from me. So there was a lot of black and white stonework involved. Basalt is blackish. Chalk is very light. So if I could find chalk somewhere, that would be awesome. I'd love to find chalk here. Let's take a measurement. It says very large sample. That's good, because if it said large sample, I would have to cry. So let's keep going down. We're getting away from the light here. I wonder if I can just dig into the wall and stick a torch down. Native copper! Found it! Yay! Oh, after so long. After worrying that the series was becoming stale, because all I was doing was just wandering around trying to find copper, and it was taking so long, I finally found it. I found copper, and apparently it's a one vein, so that... I'm sure it goes on. But, yeah, I've got some more of it over here. So, I'm going to start mining this out, and I guess I'll do some of that at least on camera, and I'll keep recording just so that if the ceiling does fall in on me... Oh, I need to get to this one, but it's like that's where my ladder needs to go. Let's see if I can mine that out. Yes! Copper! And this is native copper. The stuff I was finding on the surface were nuggets, which produces 10 units of copper. this, the stuff you find underground, gives you 25. So I'm going to take one of these pieces of cobble here, stick it there, and hope it'll stay there. Now I think as long as I'm standing with the ladder here, cave-ins won't affect me. But as I move out, cave-ins are going to become an issue, so... Let's see if I can find, like, the top of the vein here. If I... Let's see if I can do something here. If I do this... Oh, that's interesting. And then I think if I just stick some cobblestone on top of here, that really shouldn't work, but I think it does. This should give me some safety here. That should hold up the ceiling. Okay, so I think there's different types of ore veins that generate in different ways. This copper here, you can see, is kind of scattered around. It's not all connected nicely the way veins are in vanilla. You can get veins like that in TerraFirmaCraft. Not always, you can get others as well. Wait a minute, let me look up something in the quest book here. No. Fluxstone was... No, chalk, limestone, marble, dolomite, no, okay. I was like, can I get the flux thingy for that other quest out of this stone? But I can't. Okay, so let me actually dig into the wall here. Okay, there's more copper. Let me get out the support beams again. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so I think that this is going to start becoming repetitive if I just keep doing this. So I'm going to cut away and come back once I finish harvesting this. Okay, so I'll see you in a second. Or when the roof falls in, whichever one. Whichever happens first. Okay, little experiment here. I just mined a piece of copper here. But now there's a place that is one farther block above the support beam. So I don't think the support beams will stop that from caving in. But let me do a little experiment. If I just shove cobblestone right there. Okay, it stays. Cobblestone is supposed to have gravity effect. So if these support beams weren't here, that cobblestone would have fallen down the moment I placed it. But for whatever reason, the support beams are able to hold up cobblestone all the way over there. Even though cobblestone is... yeah, it's a bit derpy, but it works. So as long as it stops the ceiling caving in on me, I'm fine with whatever physics TerraFirmaCraft chooses to use. So I've mined out quite a lot here, but I just took a sample on the ground, and the prospecting pick still says it can find a very large sample of native copper. Which means that there's still quite a bit more in the walls that I haven't found yet. So that's another trick. Something else the prospecting pick is good for is determining when you've actually exhausted a vein. Although honestly, I probably won't collect everything, because once the pick gets down to where it's only finding small samples, you know, the cave's going to be, or the place that I've dug out, the mine is going to be fairly large at that point. And it's like, okay, there's maybe one piece left that's buried somewhere in the wall. Good luck finding it. It's not worth the durability on the tools at that point, so we'll see. But as long as I can still see large sample, I know there's still quite a bit around, so I'm going to keep looking a while longer. And I'm back, and I'm done for now. As you can see, the mine has gotten quite a bit larger here. This ladder right here is in the middle. That's where I estimated the midpoint to be. So you see I've branched out quite a bit in each direction. And if I didn't have these supports here, the ceiling would definitely have caved in on me by now. If I take a sample on the ground here, you can see I'm still finding a very large sample of native copper, according to the prospector's pick. So there's probably still quite a bit left. However, my copper pickaxe is running out of durability, and there could possibly be cave-ins in the tunnels above me. So, yeah, I had that happen once. I broke my pickaxe mining out the last bit of ore some years ago, and then went to leave the mine, and it's like, hey, look, cave-in. Whoops. Wish I had my pickaxe now. So, yeah, basically just mining out, extending the supports as needed, patching the holes in the ceiling with cobblestone. I think there's also stuff below me. I think that this block here, 2 blocks down, that was some copper, so possibly I need to lower the floor down to get the rest of it as well, and probably I can still go out a ways as well. But either way, that's going to be it for now as far as this mine goes. Oh, I have not shown you. Let me hit the inventory key here. This is how much I have. 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, nearly 4 stacks. That's stacks of 16 though, so I have a bit less than 64. Still, 64, those are, again, more than double the size of what I was working with before. I think the ones I was getting from the gold pans were nuggets. But anyway, stuff down here. So, TerraFirmaCraft. Finding and getting to a vein is so difficult, takes so much time and effort, but once you get there, it's massive. So this should last me for quite a while. Not forever, but, you know, when this supply runs out, I can always come back here and dig out the rest. I'll have more copper pickaxes by then, so I'll be able to mine out quite a bit. So let me head up this ladder here and see what the situation up here is. The ceiling directly above here should be fine because I've got the support. I don't think the support protects the ceiling here though, or the ceiling up there, so there could have been cave-ins there. Looks like it's day, so let's head up and out of the mine. Oh, it looks reddish. Which horizon? Oh, the western horizon is red. So sun is going down. Well, I brought a bed with me. And apparently I found a chipped ruby. I'd forgotten about that. That you could get those. Yeah, I don't know when that happened, but apparently I have a chipped ruby too. As much as I'd love to look at the stars right now, I have a feeling I should just sleep off the night. And then head back to my base. So I'll be right back as soon as I get back to my base. I'm just going to throw the bed down here. And I'll be right back. Oh, I guess I should show this though. When you do sleep, it advances you to a point just before dawn. So I just slept, but stuff's not going to start burning immediately, and in fact it's still quite dark enough for things to spawn. It's a full moon, or I don't think it's full, but it's not new, so I can see in the dark a little bit. It's not pitch black. But, so yeah, mobs are still a threat. And right now I am greatly encumbered by all of this stone and ore I'm carrying because I don't want to throw out the basalt because that stuff looks awesome. Anyway, here's the... Now it's the eastern horizon that's red as the sun comes up. So I'm going to start walking back. I'm also hungry is another reason. I'm moving so slowly. There's a freshwater lake just north of me, I believe. Or, excuse me, just south of me, so I'll be able to drink. And that should allow me to get home a bit faster. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have made it home safely. I don't have enough storage space to store everything I've brought back, but yeah, it's something I'll have to deal with off camera, because I don't want to make you guys watch me make another chest. And the sun's going down. So I think we'll get one last look at the stars. Beautiful stars, and then I'm going to end this episode because I think it's going to be quite long. I'm looking at the recording time. I've been recording for an hour and 13 minutes. So it's like normally it's like, well, you know, a lot of that was just me sitting around inside a little hidey hole. I don't bother stopping the recording since I have since I record audio from my voice separately. I have to mix those together afterwards, and it's useful if I only have to sync everything up once. So yeah, I just let it roll. But even so, this time a lot of that was me underground, irrespective of nighttime. So I hope this doesn't get turned. I don't know. We'll have to see. This might be like a part 1 and a part 2 of episode 12, so, or maybe I'll just make this episode 13 or something. Not sure. Not sure at all. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, but probably this has been at least a long episode. And we can see the stars. Ah, aren't they beautiful? Yes, indeed. Well, I'll see you all next time. I'm glad that I've got the series rolling along again. Oh, actually, one last thing. There should be... Yes, there's a quest I can complete. Native Copper. And I'm not going to claim those right now. Probably go ahead and just take the copper, but we'll see. So, yeah, I've got copper. And that opens up a whole new world for me. So, yeah, the quest line should start moving along again after being, or after many episodes without getting much done. Things should start happening again, so I'm happy about that. I'm now up to an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Hope you all are having an awesome day. I hope you are enjoying watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.